This is lesson 5.3, proportions in pre-algebra. And in this section we're going to solve problems where you use proportions. And proportions can be pretty important. A proportion is really two ratios that have an equal sign between the two. So if I have a box here that's, say, 1 unit this way and 2 units this way, the proportion, or the ratio, is 1 to 2. For every one of these, it's 2 of these. If I have another rectangle, and this is 3, and this is 6, then the ratio is 3 to 6. Now, if my ratios can be reduced and are equal, then I can say that my two ratios are proportional, or this rectangle and this rectangle are proportional. Notice what happens here. This one here is half the size of that one. This length is half the size of that one. Therefore, they're proportional. So whenever you have a scale, maybe you've got something that's 1/4 actual size. That means the proportions are the same. It's just it's smaller in size. So anyway, we'll get into that a little bit more here in just a minute. But before we really get into doing some proportions, let's look at the names of some things. I'm just going to put some letters up here. And it's really not too terribly important to have these memorized, but I do want to make you familiar with them. We've got the first term, second term, third term, fourth term. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And what we've got here is we've got this number A and D. Those are called the extremes. And C and B are called the means. Okay, so these are the means, these are the extremes. And we'll be doing some multiplying here in just a minute. And it's called cross multiplying because we go across this equal sign. And if we have a proportion like this, and if I want to find out if those proportions are equal, I multiply these two, and I see if that gives me the same number as if I multiply these two. And it does. So those are proportional because the means, multiply the means times the extreme, and you set that equal to the extremes, then you're going to have a proportion. And it works really well when you have something like an unknown. So maybe we know this ratio is 2 to 3, and the other one we know the top number is 4, but we don't know what that bottom number has to be. So if we multiply these two, set them equal to multiplying these two, then we can divide by, and my x equals 6. So this number then is a 6. So 2/3 is the same as 4/6. And if you just keep going, you can do any proportion that way. For example, example 5, they have n over 3, and they're saying that equals 0.4 over 8. So we'll multiply those, equals, and then we'll multiply those. So 8n equals 3 times 0.4, 1.2. Divide by 8, divide by 8. Take your calculator out, and we have 1.2 divided by 8, and our n equals 0.15. So 0.15 goes right there. So 0.15 over 3 is the same as 0.4 over 8. Now, we even get into some that are fractions here in our proportions. Example 6, we have 2/3 over 5 equals x over 6. So we're going to multiply these two, equals, and then we're going to multiply these two. 2/3 times 6, or 6 over 1, and then you can multiply your fractions. So 12 over 3. So 5x equals 4. Divide by 5, divide by 5, goes away, and our x equals 4/5. If we have something, jump to example number 7. Example 7 says if we have b over 15, and we say that equals 2, we don't have a fraction there, so we make a fraction. Now we can multiply these two and get 1b, or just b, equals 2 times 15 is 30, so b equals 30. So 30 over 15 is the same as 2 over 1. And that's it for proportions for lecture 5.3.